chosen ones, empaths, the narcissist deliberately, purposely denies you closure. They want to do this to prevent you from healing. And, you know, at an end of a relationship, it is nice to actually talk things through, even if you both decide you want to go your separate ways. You know, it's a healthy process to go through. But they don't want to seem to give you this. They never want to seem to give you the closure that you need. And they want to keep you hanging on, right? They want to keep you hanging on. And you've got to try in your own self to gain the closure through another way. And one way that I believe you can do this is if you take it for what it is. The narcissist is acting out a character. They might have discarded you, reverse discarded you. You might have to cut them off because it's too toxic. At one point or another, you're going to receive a Hoover. Now, I want you to use that Hoover as your closure. Because what you witness here is you see someone who acted so badly towards you, so mean towards you, acted like they didn't want you in some cases, actually try and reach out to you after a period of time. Now, with that, you can look a bit deeper into the whole situation and you can see, hold on a minute. This person's reached out to me after they may have gone on with other people, new suppliers and whatnot. This proves that they're full of crap, you know. They're full of lies. They never truly say what they mean, right? And this shows you that it wasn't you. I don't want you to accept the Hoover now. I don't want you to let them back into your life. I want you to look at it. Either reply or don't reply. It's up to you, you know, but I would advise, do you know what, like, it's giving them anything is supply. Anything you do say is supply for them. But sometimes you might want to tell them about themselves if you want to do that. But it just falls into narcissistic supply. But sometimes it gives us the closure that we need by actually voicing what our problems are with them, or just cutting them off, just saying, I don't have time for this right now, I don't want to talk to you. You can say anything, you know. But don't allow what this narcissist has done, because they're trying to keep you captive. They're trying to keep you bound without giving you this much needed closure that you deserve to have, right? Another thing of closure is if the narcissist involved in your life moves on to someone else, that's your closure. That's your closure as well. Now, I know it stings and I know it hurts momentarily, but don't you worry about that, because they've made a bad decision by doing that. And they'll realize they made a bad decision by doing that. Many of my videos talk about how they realize they make a bad decision with going with the new supply. And this is why I want you to take them moving on with someone else as the closure that you really need. Because if this person loved you in a pure way, if this person cared about you in a pure way, you wouldn't find them moving on so freely. And they do have codependency issues within us. They are dependent upon a particular supply source from their past, which is you. And them moving on with this new supply does catch up with them very quickly. That's why, from someone who's been through the experience of seeing them move on with someone else, it was, you know, it did sting at the start. It did hurt at the start momentarily. But when I saw it, if you look properly at what you see, you might see them on social media. Mine was on social media. You might see it in person. However you see it, try to look a bit deeper into it, because you'll see that they've downgraded. They have downgraded. And you can tell. And you can tell that they're actually presenting their social media in a way for you. How many times do you think they took that photo to get the perfect snap? How many times do you think they made the new supply pose in another way for this picture that you saw? And this is why when I realized very quickly that they downgraded. Someone in the comments the other day said they looked at the social media, which they knew they shouldn't have. And I agree with that. That's what I always say to you, don't look. But I've made a mistake myself looking. And they said they saw how the new supply was gorgeous. But you've just got to know, like, there's so many things you can do with phones these days to manipulate stuff. And beauty's not just on the surface. You know, you don't know if that person's a real scumbag to be around. You know, you don't know that, you don't know what the reality really is. You know, you're just seeing a caption in time, a moment in time. You're not realizing how much drama they got in afterwards. You're not realizing how much chaos they got in afterwards. But what I will say is, you know, you're probably going to ignore my advice, like, because the longer you keep looking, that denies you closure as well, right? But you do need to get to the point in time when you say, I'm going to stop looking, because if you do look, you will get hurt. And that means they're able to hurt you from a distance, because you're keeping that portal between the two of you still open. You're looking at their social media. They're looking at yours. They're looking at yours. There's no doubt they're looking at yours. But you need to really limit. And for those of you that don't have it, the narcissist is wondering and guessing what you're doing. You're causing probably more of an impact. Because I've heard people say before, it's better to come offline when dealing with a narcissist, and I understand it. But on the same subject, I understand how it should be okay for you to actually be posting and carrying on like normal, and we shouldn't allow them to stop us from being on social media or anything like that. But I understand the logic behind not posting, not sharing anything. I didn't post. I wasn't online. I didn't have social media. I wasn't showing myself afterwards, because I think we make silly decisions in that process. Like when we're hurt and stuff, what we post isn't really going to be beneficial for us at that time. And if we act like this is what I'm saying, the narcissist acting all happy and stuff, all they're trying to do is deny you closure again, right? This narcissist denied you closure from the very beginning. They could have given you a few simple words that would have given you the closure you needed. But they want to keep you captive. They want to keep you bound. And you need to overcome this. And one way is looking at the social media. You know, as I said at the very beginning of the video, the Hoover, you will get a Hoover. You will get a Hoover. And if you can stop looking at the social media, that creates a different energy about you, you know, because it is spying. When you look at someone's social media that you're not meant to be looking at, it is spying. And spying is like a negative frequency. It's like, and it can harm you. It really does harm you. And that's why we're told we shouldn't spy, you know. And I know it's not spying like you're investigating them or something like that, but looking at stuff we shouldn't be looking at literally is opening ourselves up to being impacted by harsh blows from the narcissist without them even lifting a finger. It's all self-inflicted damage, you know. But as I say, just wait for that Hoover. Go quiet, go silent. Wait for that Hoover. And let that be your closure. That was part of my big closure, come from, you know, receiving a Hoover. It was a very significant moment in my journey. And you will, if you haven't had one already, if you have, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, just stay quiet. Don't contact them. You know, they will reach out at some point. They love to reach out. They love to know what's going on with you. It's a temperament checker, as I like to call it. And they want to check what's going on with you. They want to find out some stuff. But it shows that you're still occupying a place in their mind. And all of this stuff is purposely inflicted in denying you the closure that you needed. So the closure needs to come from within. You need to do your own healing, your own inner work, and really take it seriously to overcome the trauma bond and stuff like that and the soul ties. Because, you know, this is why they do it. They know they're going to keep you bound by not giving you the words that you need to hear. So this is why we have to take it into our own ways of doing things. You receive a Hoover, take that as your closure. You see them move on with someone else, take that as your closure that you're never going back. And we have to find our own closure through the process. So anyway, thank you for watching today. Please press the like and the subscribe button. If you'd like to donate to the channel, you can find the link in the description box. If you'd like a one-to-one session with myself, you can also find the link in the description box. Currently, I've got the secondary channel, spiritual channel. So anyway, I'll be back with another video soon. Peace.